Yo, so Trey TD23 back again with another video. Going to be talking about the games that just happened today. I got my notebook because I had to take down some of the things that I want to talk about, and then I had to write some of the important stats down, so like I knew knew who won, knew what the players did. I watched every single game, but I kind of forget sometimes when I sit on the camera. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna get used to not doing that eventually, but I'm gonna be talking about games. So the first game I'm gonna talk about, the Knicks versus the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets beat the Nets beat the New York Knicks. Kevin Durant kind of struggled a little bit from the field early on, but then he hit some clutch shots to bring him and to help them win. 27 points, 9 of 23, he had 9 assists. He was facilitating, he passed it. Struggled with his shot, but he was still able to get buckets. James Harden, 34 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 11 of 20. Amazing game from James Harden. Hit some clutch shots, hit some good shots. Had a nice putback dunk. Was getting to the free throw line. Was very aggressive this game. And it was just a very good game from James Harden, coming back from a very rough game before. So, and then Cam Thomas, 12 points, 5 of 9 from the field. That's pretty much what Cam Thomas is going to be. Whenever he plays, he's literally just going to be a scorer. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to give them a spark to come off the bench to score. That's pretty much what Cam Thomas is there for. Julius Randle had a good game. 24 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 11 of 22 from the field. Like I wrote down some of their the points, some rebounds, some assists, their field goals, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And if they had like a really good stat line, I wrote it down so I can see it. But I'm not going based off of this because I watched the games. So I'm reading off the stats, blah blah blah. And I'll say how they affected the game and when I'm done with this. So let me not continue with the Knicks. Let me go on with the Nets. The Nets defense I think it was like the second quarter to like third quarter, it was really good. The Nets were locking up the Knicks. The Knicks couldn't make anything. They got off to a decent lead. Then it kind of broke. Then the Nets were missing shots. The Knicks were hitting shots. They were getting out in transition, blah, blah, blah. And brought them back into the game. And it was back and forth game. And then Kevin Durant and James Harden came alive. I would have liked to see something other than just some 2 free throws at the end. I would have liked to see a game-winning shot. I would have liked to see it go into overtime because it was a really good game going up to that point. But then Durant gets double-teamed by Julius Randle and Derrick Rose. Passes it to James Johnson, who gets fouled, hits the 2 free throws, and boom, there it is. There's the game, blah, blah, blah. But Kevin Durant, even with him struggling, it shows that he's dangerous in the clutch. Kevin Durant can go 0 of 20. And a team at the end of the game is still going to double team him because the one shot he will make will be then. Like I don't know anyone that's not going to double team Kevin Durant at the end of the game, no matter what, unless James Harden is hitting, whoever else is out there hitting. Like let's say Cam Thomas is out there, Patty Mills is out there, and then LaMarcus Aldridge, or if Blake Griffin gets back into the lineup, which I'll talk about, or Paul Millsap are on the floor. And everyone was hitting their shots. Joe Harris, when he comes back, if he's on the court. Kyrie Irving, when he's on the court. It's going to be hard to double team if everyone's hitting, or if they have James Harden and Kyrie Irving. Then they have Aldridge, Joe Harris. That's going to be so crucial because all of them can shoot threes. LaMarcus Aldridge, not a knockdown shooter, but all the other guys, they are knockdown shooters. So it'll be very hard for them to double team Kevin Durant if he has all those weapons. And even James Harden or Kyrie Irving. Kevin Durant's a good catch and shoot. James Harden, I haven't really seen him catch and shoot a lot this year. Normally he has the ball because Kevin Durant can catch and shoot, but he can also facilitate like he did tonight. He had 9 assists. So Julius Randle, like I said, 24, 9, and 8, 11 of 22 from the field. Alec Burks, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 9 of 21. Did not have a good shooting game, but he had 28 points, or 25 points. I'm gonna get back to that, but that kind of shows the box score doesn't matter. He had 25 points, 25, 5, and 5. Without me telling or without me showing his shots, you would think, oh, that's a really good game for Alec Burks. He shot 9 of 21. And I'll talk about the Kemba Walker situation once I'm done talking about this game. So Alec Burks is their starting point guard now. Which I like it. Like a 6'5", 6'6" point guard. Not too bad. So they got Alec Burks, they got RJ Barrett, they got whoever starts at the 2, probably Evan Fournier. So it's probably Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. They're all at least 6'5", I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Evan Fournier is about 6'4", 6'5". RJ Barrett's about 6'7". Julius Randle's about 6'9", 6'10". And Mitchell Robinson's about 7 foot. Alec Burks is like 6'5", 6'6". So that's a really big lineup. Mitchell, like, the starting lineup isn't who's going to finish. I think it was Derrick Rose, Alec Burks, Quickly, I think, was in the game, Randall, and who else was in the game? Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier was in the game. So it was them 5. The tallest player on the court was Kevin Durant, who's about 6'11", 7 foot, 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall. We don't know how tall Kevin Durant is at this point. So Alec Burks being their point guard, I think is pretty good. Like, because when Kemba, I love watching Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker is, like, he's not who I grew up with, but again, at the same time, he is someone I grew up with because he was drafted in, I think, 2010, 2011. He was an all-star like a little over a calendar year ago. Last year in February, he was a all-star starter, and now a year in 8-9 months, he's not an all-star. He's not even in a rotation. It's crazy, but I understand. He doesn't play defense. Occasionally, he'll hit some shots. Occasionally, he'll go for 20. But it's not the old Kemba Walker. He's 31, 32 years old. He's getting up there in age. He's about 6 foot tall, 6'1", 6'2", with shoes on. Doesn't play defense. He's not a big guard like Davion Mitchell is. But Kemba Walker is still a skilled player. It's just with Tom Thibodeau, he doesn't really work. And if there was a way for the Knicks to get John Wall for Kemba Walker, I love that trade. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It gives them another ball handler, another former All-Star, another former amazing All-NBA player. And John Wall's an all-defensive player too. John Wall will play defense. He'll facilitate. He'll score when he needs to. He's athletic. He'll play defense. He can hit some clutch shots. He can get players open. He'll lock up a point guard. He's very fast. He could run in transition. He'd be such a good player with the Knicks, especially with Tom Thibodeau. But maybe I'm thinking John Wall's a good defender. Tom Thibodeau loves good defenders. John Wall is just a good player. Tom Thibodeau loves good players that can play defense. He might play him 45 minutes a game. That's the only problem. We don't want John Wall playing a lot of minutes strictly because of his injury history and the history of Tom Thibodeau playing guys way over they have to. So, I love Kemba Walker. I wish he can go to a team and he can flourish again. I was actually taking the Knicks because Evan Fournier is not a bad defender. RJ Barrett's not a bad defender. Julius Randle isn't. Now there's Mitchell Robinson. So I thought maybe that would work. But this year hasn't really been working. So he's out of the rotation for now. But if there was a trade that they can get Kemba Walker for John Wall, involve 3 teams or something, I really wish something would work. Maybe I hope the Rockets just buy out John Wall so he can go whatever team he wants because oh man, I really want John Wall playing. John Wall's one of my favorite players of all time to watch. I loved watching him. I was very sad when I saw that he got hurt because I think I was watching the game when he got hurt. When he got hurt originally, or when I started noticing he wasn't John Wall, and then everything happened. Evan Fournier, he came in. He had like 13 or 14 points. He came in. He had a clutch shot in the clutch. He had a really big 3 to tie the game. I'm surprised they took a 3 right out of the inbounds pass. I thought they were going to try to run a different play, but again, Derrick Rose went to set the screen. They didn't switch. Who was guarding him? Bruce Bowen was guarding him. Bruce Brown was guarding him. Ran off the screen, was wide open, hit the shot. But then James Johnson got the ball, got the free throws, blah, blah, blah. Rose had 16, 5, and 9, 6 of 13 shooting. Not a good shooting performance. Well, it's not bad, but it's not amazing. For a guard, 6 of 13 shooting is pretty good. But Derrick Rose, very efficient, very, very impactful player. Going on to, I'm going to just go to the games. Okay, I didn't watch the Grizzlies and Raptors. Strictly because John Morant's not playing. That's the only reason I didn't watch that game. I was watching some games from last night that I missed, or some games from the weekend that I missed. I was watching some condensed games on my laptop. So I might go back and watch this because it looks like this was a pretty good game. Jaren Jackson Jr., 25 points, 6 rebounds, 5 blocks, 8 of 14. I might go back to watch that just to see how their offense was ran. But this is the exact thing I was talking about when it comes to box score. Dylan Brooks had 17 points. He had 5 and 5, I think. 4 and 5. No, he had 4 steals. Great defender. Amazing defender Dylan Brooks is. You would think 17 points for Dylan Brooks is pretty good. He went 5 of 18. And also Desmond Bane, 23.7 rebounds. I'm pretty sure that's 7. I think that's 7 rebounds. He went 5 of 16. So the box score doesn't show everything. Like, even with a guy like Draymond Green, I'm trying to think of some other guys that are just very impactful. Derrick Rose is very impactful. Taj Gibson, when he was getting minutes, he was very impactful. The box score doesn't show everything. Draymond Green's a guy who affects the game. He sets off ball screens. He gets Curry open. Does a bunch of different stuff to help the team win and to help the team succeed. And that's what he's doing now. So the box score doesn't show everything. So I'm not even going to really talk about that game because I didn't watch it. I'm going to go to the game I just finished watching. I'm fresh off my memory. The Suns and Warriors. So the Suns kind of, they didn't blow them out. I think it was like 112, 102 or something. So it wasn't too, no, it was, oh man, what was it? 102 to 96. I don't know. It was a close-ish game. Steph Curry only had 12 points. He went 4 of 21 shooting, 3 of 14 from the 3. Very rough shooting night for Steph Curry. I think this is his worst shooting game of his career. I'm not tripping about Steph Curry going 4 of 21. This is one game that he's going to have this bad of shooting, I think, almost ever. I don't think he's ever going to shoot this bad again. It was just a bad game. Jordan Poole, 28 points, 9 of 15. The ball in the fourth quarter, the last 5 or so minutes for the Warriors, the ball just would not go in. Andrew Wiggins wasn't himself. Otto Porter Jr., he 16-6, 6 of 11. He hit some good shots, but like I said, the ball just was not falling for the Warriors. And they had a lot of turnovers. They had, I think, like 8 turnovers in the fourth quarter, I'm pretty sure. So it was not a good fourth quarter for them. Devin Booker, he had 10 points. Got injured in the second quarter, did not play the rest of the game, and they won, which is a very good sign. Chris Paul, 15 and 11. Again, just Chris Paul just being Chris Paul, 15 points, 11 assists, being very efficient. DeAndre Ayton, very good to start the game. He's 24 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, 11 of 19. He dominated the paint. There was no one on the Warriors that can stop him. DeAndre Ayton's about 7'1", maybe even 7'2". Very strong, very big guy. Kevin Looney's a big guy, but he's only like 6'9", 6'10". Draymond Green's like 6'6", 6'7". So the tallest guy was 6'9", 6'10". So that he really can't stop DeAndre Ayton. And Chris Paul was just finding DeAndre Ayton for easy buckets. That's pretty much what it was. Jay Crowder hit some big threes in that fourth quarter. I think he had he hit like 2 or 3 of his 4 threes in the fourth quarter that were so big. Oh man, like when he hit, I think like the second or third 3 in a row that he shot. I love how Monty Williams thought they were gonna call a timeout just because of how big the shot was, and he got a technical foul because he walked all the way onto the court. I am not mad about it. It was honestly funny. I enjoyed that moment. It was funny to me. Cam Johnson, 14 points, 5 of 11, 3 of 7 from the 3. Good game, hit some good shots, hit some big shots. But what I do want to talk about, the Phoenix Suns defense's game clamped up Steph Curry. Mikal Bridges clamped him up. He only had like 2 points, but Mikal Bridges on the defensive side is so good. He, like you saw, he only needs to score 2 points to be very, very, very effective. It was such a good defensive game by the Phoenix Suns. And the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors are 18-3. They're both 18-3. And the Phoenix Suns are on a 17-game win streak now. I think they play the Warriors one more time this week. I think it's later in the week. That game is going to be so good. That game will be so good to watch again. Because Andrew Wiggins was not himself. Devin Booker obviously got injured. Cam Payne he had like a sickness or something. He played, gave what he could, and this was a really fun game. I think the Nets game was the best game of the night, and then the Suns Warriors, then the Nets Knicks. Those were so good. I loved watching both of those games. So I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna quickly go over to the Lakers and Kings. I'm gonna do a little clickbait. Are the Lakers better without LeBron James? Obviously, no. But it's going to, you know what I'm saying. But Anthony Davis actually had a good game. 12 of 22, 25.7 rebounds. I really wish Anthony Davis would get more rebounds, and I wish he would not take as many jump shots. He was like 0 of 3, 0 of 4 from the 3. Was shooting a bunch of mid-ranges. There were times where he was just getting to the basket because their starting center is Rashawn Holmes, and he just came back after missing, I think, the past 3 games. So Russell Westbrook had a good all-around game, not a good shooting game. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 9 of 21 from the field. Westbrook had a good all-around game. Like I said, just not a good shooting game. He had a 3 or 2. I don't remember how many threes he hit, but they had a good game. They won 117-92. It was a good game by Westbrook and Anthony Davis. But this is what I want to talk about. Talen Horton-Tucker. He's only, 22, 23? His 3rd season in the NBA. Trade Talen Horton-Tucker, not because he's bad, but because he doesn't fit your timeline. You're trying to win now. Talen Horton-Tucker, Austin Reeves, they're not going to help you win basketball games, right? As of right now. Talen Horton-Tucker will win you games because he'll give you 20 on every few nights. But trade him so you can get more assets. Get you some more shooters. Talen Horton-Tucker can shoot the 3, but he's not a Wayne Ellington. Go out and get... I don't even know, bro. They just need to go out and get some shooters. I'm trying to think of some good shooters in the NBA right now. But it's this only one that came to my mind right away is Kyle Korver, but he's retired. But their shooting needs to be worked on still. But they blew out the Sacramento Kings, who just beat them in a triple overtime, which they shouldn't have went to triple overtime, but De'Aaron Fox was unstoppable in that game. Dwight Howard, 12, 13, 2 and 2. I had 2 blocks, 12 points, 13 rebounds. Dwight Howard was just Dwight Howard. Malik Monk, 22 points. Didn't shoot the ball well, but he got buckets. Carmelo Anthony, 14 points, 4 and 9. After not scoring against the Detroit Pistons, that was a pretty good game for Carmelo Anthony. But yeah, I mean, it's Sacramento Kings. You can't really take none from him. And Harrison Barnes didn't play. De'Aaron Fox, 17, 5, 5, 4 and 9 from the... I want De'Aaron Fox to shoot more. I want him to shoot a lot more. He was kind of settling, kind of dishing it more, wasn't being aggressive. And I like how in the... I think it was it was the beginning of the 4th quarter. They were trying to get out in transit. No, it was the end of the 3rd quarter. It was like the mid to end of the 3rd quarter. Sacramento Kings were, after the Lakers scored, they get the ball. They try and run. They scored a couple times. They get fouled. It was good. And then the Lakers defense kind of got going. They were kind of locking up the Sacramento Kings. And then the Lakers offense was catching up. And it was just a disaster from that for the Kings. Chimezie Metu had 14 and 11, 7 and 10. That's all I got to say. Chimezie Metu was good. Rashawn Holmes, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 12 of 13. Very efficient game for Rashawn Holmes. 27 points, 9 rebounds. After missing 3 games, he came and he was dogging. But the Trailblazers and Detroit Pistons, obviously Trailblazers won. CJ McCollum had a CJ McCollum game, 28, 4 and 6, 11 of 28 from 11 of 26 from the field. Again, with no Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum's going to take majority of the shots. Wasn't efficient with his shot, but he was making shots, and I mean, he didn't really need to be efficient because they blew him out. Cade Cunningham had a good game, 26-7, 3 blocks, 10 of 13, very efficient, very good all-around game. I like this version of Cade. Cade was getting buckets. He was also dishing. He was grabbing rebounds, playing defense, very efficient. It was a good game. Jeremy Grant struggled, 4-14, 14 points. Not a very good game for Jeremy Grant, but this is not who Jeremy Grant's going to be. Isaiah Stewart, 15 and 13, very good game. grabbing rebounds, scoring, and yeah. Killian Hayes, 11-6, 3 of 8. Wish he shot a little bit more. Wish he got more aggressive. Wish he facilitated more to get other people involved, because that's pretty much what Cade and Killian. I want Killian Hayes to score more. Forget the assists, actually. I want Killian Hayes to score a lot more than he has been. Yusuf Nurkic, 13, 8, and 5, 5 of 8 from the field. Ben McLemore, 17 points. Dennis Smith Jr. came off the bench and was decent, 11, 5, and 3, 4 of 11. Robert Covington struggled. And yeah, so without Damian Lillard, they get a win against Detroit. Good win. I think they lost last night against the Utah Jazz. It's the Utah Jazz. They're going to get the best of you almost every night. They've been struggling a little bit to get wins, but they got a win last night. I think it was a blowout win. I don't remember. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. Longer video. I like these longer videos. I actually watched all the games pretty much, and I'm still getting into the groove a little bit, talking, analyzing the game, watching the games, figuring out stuff. But yeah, it was a good slate of games. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and peace.